For 3 years, I switched my partner's tea in the morning because I couldn't deal with his fake snobbery. When my ex and I started dating, I used to make him a morning cup of tea as a cute gesture, and it stuck for the 3 years that we were together. It's a nice small thing you can do to make someone's day, and it's a nice way to get to know how someone likes things doing. So, my morning tea used to be any old tea bag, Yorkshire tea if it was on offer, a splash of milk, and the first cup always had a teaspoon of sugar. Every cup after was just tea and milk. My ex, however, had to have a very specific ritual. Thompson's Punjana tea, a teaspoon of milk, and absolutely no sugar. He was adamant that he could tell in a heartbeat when his morning cup of tea, and at the age of 33, he's never liked any other tea other than Fortnum & Mason's Royal Blend. So, in the beginning, when he would stay at mine, I entertained this notion and used to make his morning tea the way he liked. Thompson's Punjana tea, a teaspoon of milk, and absolutely no sugar. He would always thank me and tell me that I make the best cups of tea, and it was nice. 3 times a week didn't kill me, and it was a sweet gesture. Fast forward 3 months when he would spend nearly every day of the week at mine, but not moved in. He was very demanding of his morning ritual, and being a student, I couldn't keep affording to buy that brand of tea. Besides, what was wrong with PG Tips or any non-branded supermarket tea? Tea is tea after all. So I used to always make his cup of tea with any tea bag, a teaspoon of milk, and no sugar. I was always sure to only make it when he was in the shower or still in bed so he could never catch me out. And initially, he was dubious and was always asking to make sure it was Thompson's Punjana tea. He used to call it by its full name to emphasize how good it was. After a few trials of different teas, I finally found that sweet point where he couldn't taste the difference. I would drink it with him, and as he sipped, would go on about how you can taste the quality and that there is really no other tea like it. When we moved in with each other, it was a lot harder to disguise the fact that I was keeping the same box of tea and just filling it with regular tea bags, so I had to be a bit more clever. At the time, I was studying at college, so I was in control of weekly food shops and only really wanted to go twice a week to minimize costs, so we had more to spend on meals out. I used to buy 1 bag of his tea and 2 bags of mine a week and kept them in the drinks cupboard. When it came to making his in the morning, I would take one of his tea bags and put it in my pocket, giving him one of mine instead, and I used to give my tutors at college his tea to drink during the day. He would always comment that I run out quicker of my tea bags because of the quality, and that with Punjana, 1 bag is enough for a considerable amount of time. Little did he know. This went on for a couple of years, and I never told anyone about it out of fear that he would find out. As after all, he really couldn't tell, so why ruin the fun? It was saving me money, and it was sort of amusing. I never let him make a cup of tea unless I was away, so he never really had to find out. After we split up, we remained good friends, and I've spent some time with him too in our old flat. Every time I visit, he always asks me to make a cup of tea the way I used to for old time's sake, because everyone he's been with or dated after me can never make it taste the way I did. He even says that when he makes it himself with Punjana, that he could never make it taste right, and that I was some sort of special tea maker. I still haven't told him. This is a long post about tea, so the TLDRX used to play on that he was very fussy with tea. I switched his morning cup to a considerably cheaper tea bag, and he could never tell the difference and still can't. This is a mix of quiet rebellion and perception bias. The partner's tea expertise is a form of identity signaling, using specific brands and rituals to feel refined or in control. By secretly swapping the tea, the storyteller tests that identity and exposes a common bias. Expectation shapes perception. Because he believed it was premium tea, his brain filled in the experience to match that belief, a kind of placebo effect. On the other side, the behavior reflects passive resistance. Instead of confronting the snobbery directly, they chose a low-risk, hidden way to regain control and reduce financial, mental burden. The humor and secrecy also provided a sense of power in a dynamic that felt slightly one-sided. Overall, it shows how much of what we taste or prefer isn't objective. It's influenced by belief, routine, and the story we tell ourselves.